Hey, gorgeous souls, how are you doing? Come on in, grab a seat, kick off your shoes, and kick back by the fire. Welcome to Dreaming with Tess. I'm Tess, and this is your channel where we sit and learn about dreams, inner healing, and talk about what's going on in our lives. So, today we're going to talk about helping a loved one cross over in a dream. It's a topic that's not really discussed on YouTube or in a lot of books. So, it's something that I wanted to discuss and talk with you about. I'm going to give you a real life tangible dream and situations where it's happened to me so you can learn through it. Okay, but before we do that, first I want to talk about something that's been on my heart. Something that I feel like is very important for us to discuss. So we all know that our phone calls are being recorded. We all know that we're being targeted with ads and predictive programming to get us to spend our money. Well, another way we're about to be targeted is through our dreams. So a lot of people do not realize the power that we have, the power that you have. We all have the ability to predict the future. I know it sounds silly, it sounds weird, but bear with me, let me explain. So we've recently, in just the past few years, have had neuroscientists come out and explain that as we sleep, our traumas, our fears, and our anxieties come out and play in our dreams. And it's a big way where we can help PTSD, a multitude of mental disorders. So they are going to use that and harness our dreams to heal us. But what I want you to know is we can heal ourselves. Going to professionals like psychologists and counselors are very important. But do you really want your dreams analyzed and looked at and recorded by the government or other people? Just like our phone calls, our messages are being recorded? I don't know about you, but I don't. So what they're going to do is they're going to come out with pajamas and beds that can record your dreams. And then they can upload them into a video and they can play it back and let you know. The reason I started this channel was to teach you to do it on your own. That you don't need a book, you don't need a video, you don't need me. Once you get the tools that you need, I'm not saying don't go to a psychologist or to a psychiatrist. Those professionals are very important. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is you do not need a microchip in your mind, in your brain. You do not need a bed to read your dreams or pajama sensors to read your dreams. You need you. Everything you need has been given to you and it's inside. So whether you talk to a psychologist or you look in the Bible or you talk to an astrologer, they will all tell you that everything you need, the universe is inside you. It sounds weird, but just bear with me. I promise. We're going to walk through the different types of dreams first, and then I'm going to teach you how to interpret your dreams. But this is number 2 in a series of the different types of dreams. Last time we talked about telepathy. This time we're talking about how to help people cross over. So are you ready? Let's go. So right now I'm going to talk to you about when I was 5 years old and I had an encounter with my mom. She was like a grandmother to me. And this is part 1. I'll have all the timestamps below. So if you just want to fast forward, you can. So when I was 5 years old, my cousin and I were sleeping in bunk beds and we were all getting ready because our mom, it was actually her grandmother, but she was like a grandmother to me. We were getting ready because we were going to go to church. We were so excited because we loved when she took us to church. She would give us a quarter to put in the to put in the plate when they would pass it by, and we were all excited. I remember one time I kept it. So right as we had went to bed, we got a phone call, and my mother and her boyfriend went outside, and they were all flustered and upset, and they told us, Jessica, get in the car, Tessa, get in the car, we gotta go. So all I remember is we went up on top of the hill. We went up on top of the hill. Where I'm from, we didn't have cops at the time, but there was an ambulance there, and everyone was standing along the fence. And I was short, and I was looking, I was trying to figure out what's going on. And I saw Ma on a stretcher, and I saw one of her daughters over there. She had 14 kids, so so she was there, and I asked one of my cousins, I said, what's happening? And she said, I think Ma's dead. And I was like, what? And at that time, I believed if you just touch someone, they could come back to life, because, you know, that's what Jesus did, right? So I ran over there, and I saw one of her daughters crying. Her name was Dorian, and she was just bawling, and I went up to her, and I tried to hug her, and she was like, get her out of here right now. And I was traumatized. I was so scared, and I thought, oh my goodness. So I moved my way out, and I hid in the crowd, and then I decided to just take off running. So I went off down the road, and I went off and hid down the other block. So finally, we all went to sleep after crying for a long time, and you can just imagine that trauma was going to come out in my dream. So I was 5 years old and didn't know how to process death at the time. So I went to sleep, and I was on the top bunk, and my cousin was on the bottom bunk. And as I went to sleep, I opened my eyes in my dream, and Ma was there, and she was sitting in the chair, and I was all excited, and everyone was around her. All of her children were all around her, and they were all trying to get her to go to the kitchen and eat. And I saw a big old ham and all kinds of plates. But then I looked, and I saw a tail on one of them, and I thought, that is not my uncle. And I wanted to tell Ma, you're not dead, but they told me, don't say anything. And so I didn't say anything, and they were all just talking to her, and I said, no, I'm going to say something. I don't know what happened, but I got big, bold, and brave. So I went up to her, and I said, Ma, why are you here? You're supposed to be in heaven. What are you doing here? And she said, what? And I said, Ma, you're dead. She goes, I died? I said, yes, you died. I saw you. You're dead. And they're trying to make you eat, and you need to go to heaven. And she gave me a kiss, and then I woke up. But when I woke up, I talked to my cousin, and my cousin had the exact same dream. She also dreamed that Ma was there and everyone was around her, but she dreamed that they went and ate. And so that was the difference between our dreams. To sleep, and so that was Ma. And most people would think, oh, that was just a dream. That was a little girl trying to recognize what's going on, trying to identify that, yes, her grandmother is dead and now she's in heaven. But let's fast forward to when my daughter was 7 years old. What had happened was I couldn't sleep, and I finally went to bed about 4 o'clock in the morning, and I was having this dream that Ma came back. And it was in this, it was kind of like a desert. It was super bright and super white, but I could tell that it was like in nature. And what happened was there was this big, beautiful tree, and it was just strong and powerful. And that's the only thing that was there that was strong and powerful. And so I was in kind of like this trailer, or like this box. It was kind of like a meeting box or meeting room. And so I was sitting there, Ma came, and I got her all caught up on the news. I was talking to her about the first Gulf War with Bush Sr. and then Bill Clinton, and I was telling her all about the second war with George Bush and 9/11. We're sitting there, and I had this old TV, and I was taking her through everything, and then she was about to go, and I just held on to her, and I cried and cried and cried and cried, and she held on to me, and it was just this most purifying cry. Everything was just releasing and getting out. And I looked at her, and I said, Ma, do you have to go? And she said, yes. And I said, Ma, are you going to be back? And she said, not for a long time, but unfortunately I will be back. And I said, oh, but I want to see you. And she said, I want to see you too. She said, it's going to be all right. Just know that I'm with you. I watch over you. I'm with you. And I said, okay, Mom. And then she left. And I woke up crying, thinking, oh my goodness, what happened? What was that? And then, so I was homeschooling my kids, and I was outside, and they were looking at the leaves and stuff. And I was a little bit depressed because of the dream. And then I felt God talk to me, and I felt God say, hey, Tessa, I need you to call your mama and papa. And I was like, I do not want to bother them. They're at the nursing home, and I don't like bothering the nurses and stuff there. And then he said, okay, then call your mama. And I was like, nope, I'm not going to call my mom because I don't want to tell her I love her and I don't feel it back. And God said, I'm asking you to do something. And I said, I get that, and I'm telling you no. So some people would think that's sacrilegious, but we have free will. We can tell God yes, we can tell God no. And I decided to tell him no, which wasn't a good choice, but I told him no. And then later that evening, I found out that my mama and my papa did die, and my mama had gone into a coma. I gave you the first part, the dream, and then how it happened in real life, and how she came back to me when another person in my life passed away. I didn't know that he was gonna go. I didn't know that he was gonna pass away. I didn't even know that he was sick. So I walked you through the dream and how it happened to me, and now I want to give you some tips and explain to you how you can do this. Sometimes they're familiar spirits. Sometimes people are not who you think they are. They pretend to be someone that you know, someone that you love. And what you can do is you can look at them and stare at them for a while and see if you see something different. See, most of the time when I look at someone and I look at their feet or I look at their tail, a lot of times, sometimes when they're not who they're pretending to be, they'll have a tail or they'll have like these weird feet. They're not human feet. It's kind of like lizard hairy feet. But here's what you can do. Ask them who they are. Ask them. They have to tell you, and they might get scared and they might just leave. Another way to tell is how it makes you feel. A lot of times when someone visits you, it'll be in a bright white room and you'll feel safe and you'll feel comfortable. But if you ever feel afraid and nervousness, go with your gut. Your gut is your intuition. Go with how you feel. If you feel calm, still ask them. Say, who are you? And they have to tell you. So this was number 2 in a series of dreams. Last time we talked about telepathy through dreaming. This time we talked about helping people cross over in a dream. And next time we're going to talk about how to dream the future, how to tell when it is a future dream, and then what to do about it. I'm so glad you came. Thank you so much for being a part of this. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. If there's a topic that you want to talk about, if there's something that you're struggling with, you can email me or leave it in the comments below. Thank you so much, and I can't wait to see you again. God bless. Bye-bye.